So what was the question again? Oh, why is it called the traffic jam? Well, you know, the reason is, it's because I have two really cool cars. Seriously cool cars. And I love drifting, racing, because I am fast and slick, and plus I like to create a bit of traffic jam myself with a whole lot of great music. Bulumnaka, my name is Real, your host and DJ, right here on the Today FM Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 p.m. to 7, right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Tonight, political campaigns and advertising ends in just over 12 hours. Fiji First Leader Vorenge Bainimarama says racial discrimination is his biggest worry. And water cuts irk Lami residents. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. This is FBC News. The last full day of campaigning ends tonight as the 48-hour blackout period kicks in from 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. Under the electoral decree, all campaign materials, advertising must stop and media reports must cease until the end of polling on Wednesday. Ritika Pratap has more.
During the blackout period, prohibited activities include media not printing, publishing or broadcast any campaign advertisement, no debate or interview on any election issue, and no interviews with politicians or political parties may be conducted.
Electoral matter for information is defined as a matter that affects or is intended or likely to affect voting in an election. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to clarify that this is applicable to any information that will be published in Fiji. The blackout applies if it is going to be covered in Fiji. So, as per the accreditation, you agreed to apply and respect the law of the country. So we expect everybody to take adherence to that.
Mohammed Sanim has confirmed the blackout applies to the social media and internet as well.
They should respect the blackout period as well. And if they retweet something or they do campaigning on Facebook or publish electoral matters on Facebook post the blackout period, it will be up to the authorities on how they will treat with the matter.
So, no.
It's not allowed.
Under the electoral decree, the Media Industry Development Authority has allowed the broadcast and publication of information issued by the Fijian Elections Office. Sanim has advised all political parties to ensure that banners, posters and any other campaign materials are taken down by 7:30 a.m. Meanwhile, the Elections Office is urging people who applied for postal voting to contact DHL and check on their package.
We have come across several scenarios where people are again changing locations and then asking for DHL to bring it to the other location. And one extreme case was someone from Suva was in Nandi and said, bring it here. Ladies and gentlemen, if DHL has been to your house and they have not been able to get you at the address you had specified, in that case, then you will now have to go to the DHL office to get your ballot paper, as time is very, very critical.
If you've lost or misplaced your voter ID cards, you have until Tuesday to get a replacement. Voter information centers have been set up in central locations all over Fiji. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Fiji First Leader Vorenge Bainimarama says for him and his party, removing racial discrimination is the biggest challenge facing Fiji. Speaking on FBCTV's For the Record, Bainimarama says social issues, development and growth are all being addressed, but racial discrimination is proving to be a challenge.
At every campaign rally, party meeting and in public speeches, Vorenge Bainimarama has spoken about the need to remove racial discrimination in Fiji. Speaking on For the Record, Bainimarama said it's one of the reasons why the SDL government was removed in 2006.
This is a thorn in our side that we need to get rid of. This racial discrimination, that's going to be our downfall. Because if people, especially politicians, keep using it, they'll keep lying to the people. But see, that's how deep these politicians have placed this racial discrimination into people. And that's very worrying. That's the thing we need to get rid of. Get rid of it. It will be home free.
The Fiji First leader reveals that attempts to bring about equality in Fiji are being thwarted because people are easily manipulated.
We keep saying there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, we thought that the Constitution was that light, or part of that light. Apparently not. Because when we look back, the dark part of the tunnel is still there. The light didn't really shine through. So the people that want to take us back to the dark days of 2000.
According to Benny Marama, incitement to racial hatred is why Fijians lost their lives in the upheavals of the year 2000.
From the beginning, the military has always targeted this racial discrimination. We hated it because it's not going to take us anywhere. The Toke see themselves as the Toke. We are the owners of this land. We don't want anybody else. So they use that bit. Come, get rid of this Indo-Fijian Prime Minister. Your land is not safe. Come on. So they end up there. But guess what happened at the end? The Indo-Fijians sat on the sideline while the Toke killed each other.
Benny Marama also says the Fiji First campaign has been focusing on removing misconceptions about common identity and equal citizenry. Kritika Pratap, FBC News.
Now, two of the co-leads of the multinational observer group for the Fiji elections have arrived. Peter Weith of Australia and Ambassador Wahid Supriyadi of Indonesia reached Suva last night and held a briefing with the media this afternoon. Weith says the observers are current and former members of parliament, elections officials, civil servants and diplomats.
We are looking forward to having our full contingent of observers, which will be around 90. Will be here, if they're not here this afternoon, certainly will be for our discussions tomorrow morning, training and briefing on the process.
MOG began observing the elections process on August 18th. Several areas in Lami have been without water for about 2 weeks, and residents are now asking when the problem will be fixed. FBC News was told intermittent water supply has been ongoing for some time, but for the last 2 weeks it's gotten much worse. Savara Tambua has more.
Filling buckets and containers with water isn't new to some families in Lami. However, recently, supply has been so bad that without these water trucks, people wouldn't be able to lead normal lives.
Sometimes like it's from whole day or 2 days we don't have water. It's just little, drips that falls down, and then we stand for very long to outside the tap. But otherwise, all through this year we've been having water cutting.
Areas in Lami affected by water cuts include Naimawi Street, Ngawia and nearby communities, all of them heavily populated. Ilikana Bolokoro lives in St. Paul's Crescent Road next to Ngawia village. He hasn't been able to clean a wound for 2 days because of the water shortage.
This is not something to joke about. We have been experiencing water disruptions since Monday, and we were told to rely to water cut. It's really frustrated since we are paying our water bills, and it's not our part to request for the supplying of water again when we dig out money from our pocket for water bills.
FBC News sought comments from the Water Authority of Fiji and was referred to a statement issued on Friday stating that the recent dry weather and a change in climate has caused water levels to diminish in the reservoirs. The authority says consistent water cutting continues in affected areas as a temporary measure. Upgrades to its distribution systems will improve supply to Lami once and for all. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, Ambada landowners in Lotoka clean up rundown tourist attraction.
Bula FM nang bandoy na sera ni wasiningon na ni batara ni sibiti ko bekyanda na diwa en na tini na miniti na may pakuriti ore bengrabe na nontan nonongo kanda na dapat ko ani no na kaloko en ay kaben din debo bili na tay bali ni may dapat ko na wani matakabo plan lib serti ko na bisere tali oni na namaka do batat ko may kina na kenan daw ro ko di kanamaki Bula binaka ayo salami lawa do batat ko yawa na batara na wani dio na kaloko moni tiki na barumbuka en ang Bula FM nang bandua en sera
How are you doing, Fiji? Yes, indeed, fast approaching, well, the major bulletin. But before we even talk about the major bulletin, what about my little news flash?
Oh my gosh, please don't let me get started on that again.
Getting on the bus yesterday, and then he tells me, brother, move on to the other seat, because we can fit two people where you're sitting.
Hey, you can't blame the dude for being honest, okay?
There was nothing honest about what he said. Hi, I'm Phil.
And I'm Fina,
your daybreak duo on Gold FM. From Mondays to Fridays.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Turn us on.
Welcome back to FBC News. Around 100 youth from villages and settlements around Lotoka cleaned up one of the city's well-known swimming spots yesterday. Ambada Falls has been closed to the public and tourists for many years and has become a dumping ground. Akasita Tale has the details.
Nestled among the forest and burnt bushes of Tavakumbu in Lotoka lies this once famous swimming hole, which is now littered with rubbish. This is the entrance to the well-known Ambada waterfalls, another 30 minutes drive away. The amount of rubbish here and the general dilapidation has been a grave concern to landowners.
Sa rida chungango, o se teke buchungmena nungu mbulo yao, nungu yambaki, nungu kalilima se konambenu ya, se yado chungango.
A cleanup campaign organized by the Ba Provincial Administration hopes to deal with the litter problem and set up a track as an ecotourism venture.
The waterfalls and lovely places and a very, very unique place for trekking. The site there is world long, but for a time now it was closed. But now we are reactivating it and reopening it, and even the villages in Ambada are ready for this program.
The new track site is expected to generate more income for the villagers of Tavakumbu and thus attracting more tourists. The provincial administrator of Ba is requesting the people living nearby these villages to stop dumping rubbish in this area.
Plead to the people living beside the area in Tomuka settlements, in Tavakumbu, those who follow this road, please keep this place clean. This is not a dump site. Vunoto dump site has been provided by the city council. Please make use of that place.
It won't end here. Plans are already in place to cover other attractions in the west. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
Upgrades to several roads and a bridge in the north have been welcomed by people who have had to live with poor infrastructure for decades. Alan Stoltz reports the upgrades include Namua Voivoi Road, Bootha Bay Road and Nasuva Bridge, which were opened just days ago.
The government has spent $2.6 million to upgrade the main road in Namua Voivoi Vanolevu. About 200 people, including children, benefit from this new development.
We are so thankful to the government for helping us out. Now our children don't have to walk for so long to get to school, and life will become so much easier for us.
The 203-kilometer road from Namui Voivoi all the way to Ndavia was only accessible by horseback, but now cars and buses are able to travel through. People don't have to lug their produce long distances to find transport.
The poor state of our roads was causing people in our village to suffer, especially the children and even pregnant women who have to walk long distance. I thank the government and God for helping to change our fate, and we can see that this will improve our lifestyle.
Provincial Administrator Inoke Tangidakimbao says they've been hopeful that the new roads will come access to electricity.
Number one, to reach Mboa and Sol level. It's all in the pipeline, and I hope it will happen soon.
Nasuva village also has a new bridge. Villager Salote Lutu says this is a dream come true.
We've been suffering for so long. The women in our village had to resort to crossing the river to go to town. Words can't express how happy I am for the government's help.
There are more road upgrade projects continuing in various parts of Vanua Levu, including the number Walu Tundreketi highway. For FBC News, I'm Ellen Stalls.
2 Lands Department officers have appeared in the Lotuka Magistrates Court on corruption charges. Penny Matasau and Jashnita Kumar have been charged with conspiracy to defraud, obtaining a gain, and general dishonesty, obtaining a gain. Kumar is also charged with 2 counts of fraudulent falsification of accounts. Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption alleges Kumar falsely received a Crown land rent payment in order to obtain a $300 gain with Matasau. They've been granted bail, told to surrender their travel documents and to not interfere with prosecution witnesses. The matter is adjourned until October 20th. The Papua New Guinea High Commission held a special celebration to mark Independence Day. As Ellen Stolz finds out, the celebrations were brought forward in light of the Fiji elections, since PNG's Independence Day is on September 16th.
It wasn't officially Independence Day for PNG, but the pride was nothing less at the Grand Pacific Hotel.
Yes, I do miss home, but the good thing is that Fiji is just like home, and it is a Melanesian country. The culture, everything is the same, so I don't miss home so much.
For others, it was also about seeing how Fiji and Papua New Guinea have been able to work closely together over the decades.
The relationship is now taken on a higher level in terms of really supporting, like government to government, support as well as people to people support. So we are so proud of being in Fiji as well to celebrating this kind of independence in Fiji,
Papua New Guinea's acting High Commissioner to Fiji, Ua Manimbi, says they have also pledged their support for the 2014 elections.
I don't know, but the 11.1 million kina was the last tranche that arrived, and we have given it. So we're hoping that the Fiji election office will use it to, carry on the election duties. And
the High Commissioner does recognize PNG could learn a thing or two from Fiji in the tourism sector.
Tourism, yes, it's Fiji's cake, if you want, and Papua New Guinea, we're trying to learn from Fiji the tourism industry. So we, just like Fiji, we have a lot to offer, and the Fiji has been in this business for so long, and they are good at it. So, Papua New Guinea is trying to learn from them as much as we can, so that we develop our tourism industry as well.
The fact that Papua New Guinea celebrates its Independence Day a day before Fijians go to the polls is a coincidence, but nonetheless a reflection of how close the two nations have become. Ellen Stalls, FBC News.
South Sea Cruises has launched its newest addition to its fleet on Friday. Cougar 2 has been custom designed and built at a cost of $6 million. This will be able to provide comfortable, modern and safe cruising through the Fiji Islands. A 24 aluminium catamaran Cougar 2 can carry up to 200 passengers with a cruising speed of 24 knots. It has been constructed primarily to service the transfers between Denarau Marina and Sheraton Resort and Spa, Tokoriki Island, Matamanoa Island Resort and Tokoriki Island Resort. Coming up in sports, Saru Dragons celebrate its first ever title win. And Fiji Netball holds first trial for 2015 World Cup.
बॉलीवुड हीरो बनती रे. Get this.
क्या करूं यार, सबको आती नहीं, मेरी जाती नहीं।
मिर्ची मस्त मॉर्निंग में हूँ अश्निल सिंह।
हाय, मैं हूँ काजल।
शामिल हो जाए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे
6 AM to 9 AM.
मिर्ची FM, it's hot.
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर आपका स्वागत है बच्चों की दुनिया में। हमेशा की तरह आज भी हम आपके लिए कहानियाँ और कविताएं लेकर आए हैं और बच्चों आप हमें कॉल भी कर सकते हैं। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर मंडे टू फ्राइडे 3 से लेकर 4 बजे तक बच्चों की दुनिया में और 4 से लेकर 7 बजे तक मस्तानी शाम के सफर में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
Welcome to FBC Sports. The Telecom Fijiana Sevens team won the IRB Women's Sevens World Series qualifier in Hong Kong last night. The Elias Atanivola coach side is among the top 4 teams to join the core group, beating Portugal 21-7 in the Cup quarter-final. The side then went on to defeat China 21-19 in the semi-final with a close 24-19 win over France in the final. The team now plays in the 2014-2015 IRB Women's Sevens World Series. It took 19 years, but the KBL Saru Dragons have won its first premiership title, beating Fairtrade McCoy Bulldogs 2018 in the Vodafone Cup Top 8. The thrilling final was played at Churchill Park in Lautoka yesterday. Josephine Navula reports.
Sweet victory for the KBL Saru Dragons. The game went down to the wire. Both teams tied 12-all at full time, the Dragons scoring 2 winning tries. Captain Ilaitia Rongorongo says the victory is deserving for a team that's put in the blood, sweat and tears since 1995.
Can the Saru Dragons go in?
Thanks to the boys for their performance so far. They've been training hard through the weekend, even though I'm not with them at this game for the contract in Aussie. I just want to give them the good thing they've done this afternoon.
The team from Lautoka takes home 2,500 prize money, while the Bulldogs return to Nasinu with 1,250. Ilaitia Rongorongo says the first ever win for the KBL Saru Dragons belongs to its fans.
This is the first time for us to win the Vodafone Cup, and this cup we dedicate to all of them for supporting the team Saru Dragons.
Fairtrade McCoy Bulldogs went down fighting, and Captain Chone Wesile says at the end of the day, the Dragons were just too strong.
Congratulations to Saru and its coaching staff. You worked hard, you earned your win today, and we take our hats off to you.
Fans who've waited 19 years for the Dragons to lift the trophy invaded the pitch, unable to contain the excitement, the win giving them bragging rights over all rugby league clubs in Fiji. Josephine Navula, FBC Sports.
The BLK Namranga Rugby Union is ready to take on the winner of B Division competition, Neitasiri Northern Bulls, in the next HFC Fairbrother Challenge. The Stallions have continued its dominant run, already defeating 3 challenges in the 2014 season. Namranga Rugby Union President Tiko Matawalu says they support the growth of B Division teams in the big leagues.
We were very supportive of both the Malolo Rugby Union and the Northern Bulls for this season. We assisted them through warm-up matches and through other means in which we could see the fruits of on the ground for both the teams, and for Northern Bulls coming out to be winners after yesterday's game.
Namranga will play the Neitasiri Northern Bulls at Lawanga Park in Singatoka next week. The Fiji Netball Association held its national trials at the National Netball Centre yesterday. National selectors and the girls have been working closely, building up to the Netball World Cup next year. They've also been joined by new coach Kate Carpenter. Fiji Netball President Wainikiti Mongindrao says the performance shown by the team is quite impressive.
We have our selectors and our national coach here. I'm sure they're quite impressed with the talent that's on display today. And of course they are already working on strategies to improve the condition or perhaps the skills that are being displayed.
Netball Fiji is preparing for the Netball World Cup in Australia next year. Generally, fine weather prevailed over the country today. 32 was the highest in Lambasa today, with all other centres also posting warm temperatures. Now, Monday begins with fine conditions over most places, except for a bit of cloud cover in Suva and Savu-Savu. Further outlook, fine apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. It will be cool at night, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots and moderate seas. Recapping our headlines, political campaigns and advertising ends in just over 12 hours. Fiji First Leader Vorenge Bainimarama says racial discrimination is his biggest worry. And water cuts irk Lami residents. That's FBC News for tonight. I'll be back again next weekend, but I'd just like to say, don't forget to vote. Until then, stay safe. Nisa Modemanda.
Sarwanduru na kaloko na Radio Fiji 1 ndo mwibiki na bunga ni binano. Nisambolo binaka na ngono boro taki ni rongo sere na ngono ni ndreko malolo. Nisambolo binaka. Oye wa meli kilani. Ningi nama kati umena nungu bengi rawi maina moni tiki na warombuka na rua kina wana kaloko na ngono ni rongo mani vesana. Waki na wono na ngono ni rongo sere na Radio Fiji 1 na ndo mwibiti na bunga ni binano yanu.
It's now 6 o'clock right here on Big Breakfast, Today FM, today's hit music.
Hey, I'm Pauline.
And I'm Alan. Tune in to the Breakfast Show on Today FM with Pauline and I every weekday morning.
From 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Right here on Today FM, today's hit music.
Today FM, today's hit music.